Hello, everybody. It's Crustlord here, and this is the week 2 power rankings. I've got TPB with me,
Hello.
Carlos,
Hey.
and Brandon.
What's up?
Mimo's currently not here. Maybe I'll hop in later. Anyway, so yeah, I guess let's start up with talking about Jordan. All of us have him last at TPB, who has him 15, and yeah, who wants to start?
I mean, I guess his first 2 weeks, it's a little hard to judge him off of. He's definitely, he's still having stuff going on right now, right? Where he wasn't able to focus as much, or
Yeah,
is he past that?
He had a musical on Friday when he played. Like he was,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he left for musical like literally like 30 minutes after this game. So yeah.
Ooh.
So it's really hard to judge him, but I mean, with what we've seen, it's hard not to put him at the bottom. So I think he can. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he bounces back and once he's not busy and if he it sounds like he's done with the musical.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a rough first 2 games.
The musical is really good, by the way. I saw it.
Okay, then I'll move him up. We can move him up
Alright.
then, maybe. This musical's that good.
Shout out to Wizard of Oz. All right. So I guess I'll start. Oh, there goes my heater. All right. But yeah,
Nice.
just a bunch of kind of weird switches. Starmie did really well against his team, and I would not have liked that to been sacked so early because it did a lot of work against a decent amount of Jake's Mons. Yeah, like not necessarily bad play, but I don't think his team is very strong. Actually, there was one bad play. It was like at the end of the match when he let the well, first of all, his Gigalith was not Smooth Rock. Second of all, he let it go down with one turn of Sandstorm left. Like,
Yeah.
which is dumb. Like, he would have lost anyway because Crawdon still swept, but that just kind of annoys me. No other, like, really terrible plays. Like, I don't know. I didn't really look at this match too closely. They're definitely... Also, he could have just straight up, like, Fire Blasted the Celesteal instead of Toxic.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
that
Because
was
he let
another one.
the damage. And then he sacked it to Crawdon, which, I mean, he didn't have a switch in, but Salazzle just kills everything, so...
Yeah, I definitely would save Salazzle too. Like, there's a bunch of... Offensively, I think Jordan's in a decent spot. It's just... He really needs to work on that defensive core of his. I think if he brings, like, one or two threats, like Salazzle and Starmie every week, or, like, or just rotate threats, because he's got a lot of, like, really diverse threats. It's just I don't think he has the defense to support them.
Yeah, like in this battle, once Chesnok went down, like he really has no switch-ins to anything, even with it, but
But
he
yeah.
definitely has the offensive pressure. He just needs to either make some moves or, I don't know, we'll see once he's really focused on his battles if the team can actually perform or not.
All right, Brandon, you want to add anything?
Basically what's been said before. I don't see... There's no really technically wrong things that I've been seeing with him this season. Definitely an improvement over last season, but at this point, we're so early in the season that I can't put him anywhere else until I see more.
I agree.
I'd agree. And then, TV, do you want to explain why you put him above you?
I played worse than him.
All right. All right, good segue. Let's go into TV's game.
All right. I'll start on me.
All right.
So, all right. There are 5 different plays you can make. 4 of them, you don't lose the game. 1 of them, you lose the game. How about I just make the one that will lose me the game? I think that's a great idea.
What are you
Like,
referring
honestly,
to?
Like Cloister.
Yeah, literally, I could just said, "Hey, why don't I sack something so he close combats and then kill him?" But nah. That's not the way to go. You just gotta instantly go into your only check to the Pokemon and let it die. That's the way to play Pokemon.
Oh, right.
Basically.
basically.
Oh, I forgot about that play.
Yeah. That's really the only way to play Pokemon, honestly.
Yeah, you did. Huh.
He did.
I referenced that play. I was like, I think like 2 turns later, I said it in chat. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Why don't you just wait for the drop?
Yeah, that was a bit rough. I mean, that was definitely a tough battle. See, he wasn't playing too bad to start out, but then once he sent out that cloister, there was
Yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah.
I got tilted and I wasn't thinking, so I lost because of it, even though I probably could have brought it back. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's the way to play Pokemon.
Yeah. Granted, you only misplayed once.
You're not wrong.
Okay, from now on, if you ever see a speed boosting mon, make sure your super effective move Okos. If not,
Oof.
Okay.
if not, hit him
Alright.
with a normal effective move.
Alright.
And don't let him.
Who
I
brings
wouldn't say
weakness
that's-
policy to
Okay, look,
Terrakion?
apparently,
I mean-
weakness policy is the go-to item for sweeping.
It's a great item for tracking, I will say that. But I don't think you necessarily have to watch out for that every time with like super effective hits having the Oko. I just think it was more so a really, really nice prep on Mimo's side.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Yeah.
obviously, once that happened, he should have saved Cloister. But
Oh yeah.
we'll see. I mean, 15, you're just 0-2. It's early season.
We'll see.
We'll see. But based off of this week and last week, it's hard to put you any higher than 15.
Hmm.
I agree completely.
Brandon, you want anything?
I think that our division's having a fucking identity crisis. No one knows
Hello?
what's up.
Dubsy is strong.
Well, yeah, like I said, we've done like a complete reversal at this point of week 0, technically power rankings or draft analysis,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Alright, let's do Chabs next.
Oh lord.
Alright, this game was rough. Oh, I don't have it in a dog. But. Hold on.
That's rough.
Alright, getting that replay right now. Okay, we're good. So, just got swept.
Yep.
Seemed to be a recurring theme among the bottom ones. Just get swept.
I mean, it's been a recurring theme lately, just in
Actually,
general.
true. How many sweeps have there been?
A lot. Like,
Hold on, let me check. Alright, so week 1.
not even counting week 3.
True. 1.
One.
2 in week 1 exclusively. I wouldn't count Brandon's game as a sweep, but it wasn't. Anyway, so 2 in week 1. 1. Well, that was a sweep in the sense of it was a 6-0. 2. Yeah, there's been like 4/5, not counting week 3. That's insane.
So just 2 per week.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Anyway,
Alright.
but yeah, I just got swept by Jeff, who was ranked as bottom 2 last week. Yeah,
And in the draft analysis.
and bottom and Z.
Yeah.
Granted, he did get flinched, which lost him the game.
I think he was gonna lose anyway.
I think
Honestly,
so as well.
he really underprepped for Gyarados.
But yeah, even because Gyarados is one of the 3 threatening mons on Jeff's team, I really do think that he should have took it more seriously.
Yeah.
Also, hold on. Why didn't he go Cincino?
That's what I'm seeing right now.
Whatever.
Yeah, going Registeel, that's just set up fodder at that point.
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
I don't know why he did. I think he just threw.
Yeah, and
He he got flustered by
He
the
was already
flinch, and then
tilted. He got
Yeah.
tilted before that.
he got tilted by the flinch, and then it was just downhill.
yeah, I do think he probably should have ran seismic toss on Registeel. It's pretty standard, and it would have just broken the sub, and
Yeah.
he probably wouldn't be in this position.
I mean, he's still probably would have got swept.
Yeah,
He wouldn't got
it just
like
Registeel
max-
wouldn't have been
yeah,
such terrible setup fodder.
Yeah. Jeff wouldn't be disrespectful and set up like every like. Although Araquanid did eat that +5 waterfall,
Oof.
so who knows?
Araquanid is so underrated defensively.
Dude,
and then with
Araquanid.
webs,
No,
it's so
I love
nice.
Araquanid. It's like one of my favorite mons in the dead.
It's amazing.
Dead League. Yeah, it's great. I love Araquanid. I'm looking to draft it again, maybe sometime. It's a
If the
fantastic mon.
Registeel died, he should have gone into that. He could have gone into.
But
He
yeah,
shouldn't have gone into Registeel.
he should have went out into Cincino or Araquanid.
Probably Cincino, depending on its.
I mean, he could have revealed the Z Fly, or no, he does. He isn't Z Fly, maybe or Z Bounce, whatever.
He
Even
has
though
Fly.
he's not Z, but he could reveal a normal bounce.
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, just rough. And then since we all put him really low because he beat a weak opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this
Last
bottom
week, yeah.
area, it's once it starts getting to like the top 12 to like middle of the
Five.
other screen, that's when it's really
Four.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This bottom 3 or
No.
4, it's pretty
I
straightforward.
would argue 11. I'm sorry, Jeff. I don't know what to make of you.
Who knows?
I wouldn't put you in that tier, Jeff. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I would generally agree. Anyway, so let's move on to we're talking about JT now. Do we want to
yeah.
do we want to or do we want to build some hype and suspense for my rebuttal?
Oh Lord.
Well, let's go Hank first.
All right. So Hank just got outplayed pretty hard.
You could say that.
Turn 1 was one of the worst plays this season so far. Like, okay, Hank, if you don't have a water type, if you don't have a ground type, and your opponent leads an electric type with Volt Switch, who most of the time runs Volt Switch, they're going to Volt Switch. And then if you lead a Pokemon that uses basically only status moves a lot of the time, what do you think's going to happen?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not like
Huh.
I saw that play coming. Like, Hank, I swear to God, if you use a status move right now, I'm done. Anyway, that was one of the worst plays all season.
Also, his play with Kyurem does a lot to this team, but he sort of just let it do nothing against the Bronzong and then take toxic damage, even though that's like his main offensive threat
yeah.
at the moment.
I have another complaint with Hank's play. Okay, turn 4 or turn 5. All right, brings in the Thunderous. Why would one bring a Thunderous in against a Pharaoh? Could it be maybe HP Fire or something? Or
Nope,
Incinerate?
that is not
Nope.
I will
Apparently
say
not. Let's stay in.
Incinerate was cool tech. It wasn't really necessary. But,
Yeah. Maybe he had like another hidden power on it that he wanted to pack.
yeah. It's definitely cool to see though.
But yeah, I was like, he's gonna HP Fire right now. Like, oh my god. I said that out
What was
loud.
this Bronzong's like thing?
And
What?
then Hank brought nothing for Bronzong. He
Mm.
he didn't have to bring what's that that Heliolisk. Heliolisk did nothing because it had the same role as Vanillux, and it was a Outspeed and Oko the Manaphy. That's the role, and Vanillix does it better because it also is better against the rest of the team. He literally had zero reason to bring that one Mon. Heliolisk. He has zero reason to bring Heliolisk. It didn't really do anything, and its role was already filled. So yeah, I don't know why he brought that.
Yeah, and just he let both of his walls die in the first 5 turns.
Yeah. I think this... Okay, out of just week 2, I think Hank played the worst. Yeah, I would say that.
What do you mean? I played.
No. Because he made just one mistake, okay, that cost you a game. Chavs made like 1.5 mistakes that lost. He probably still would have lost even if he didn't go on the rush steal. But, but Hank makes 2 fatal misplays within the first 5 turns of the game, and his prep is bad. I
But
think
not the worst of the week, though.
I would
Speaking
argue
of worst of the week, no, we still got a little bit.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so that's Hank. Oh, does anyone else want to add?
No.
Not particularly.
All right, that was just my spiel.
All right.
Oops.
All right, what else?
Yeah.
What next?
Next we can go Harley.
Harley. All right.
What are we saving?
Oh.
Yeah, are we saving JT?
All right.
All right.
There's a 3-way tie at 11.2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's do Harley next then.
Sure. Okay, so the lowest. No,
Ooh.
I was about to. No, never mind. I was about to say the lowest that actually won the game this week, but that is completely false. Anyway, yeah, I thought I put him decently high at 10 because like compared to like down there like 12 or whatever, and I think there's a good cut above like 10 or like right there because I think that week 1 personally was a fluke because he didn't play Pokemon for like less than a year or whatever, so I'm just gonna discount week 1. But when I was watching this game live and I was like thinking, okay, if I were Harley, what play would I do? And then he played pretty spot on like the entire time. Yeah. I don't really have any complaints. Oh my god.
I will say, we can talk about all my misplays later once it gets to me, but him switching out Mienshao later on when he was up 4-0, he could have just kept clicking high jump kick and won. I get that he was worried about defensive Nidoqueen, but I was at, let's see, I think I was at 26%. Unless he's like trying to scout for protect, then I get it, but I don't get why he didn't go straight back into Mienshao. Because then he could have just got the 3-0 there, turn 31.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, that was just a trying to play
Because
it safe.
he sacked 3 differential overall.
Yeah, I just.
In theory. I get the sacking the 1 to scout for protect or something like that. But
I would agree.
after that, he could have just won right there if he wanted.
And he almost lost because he gave P2 the speed boost.
Like if I didn't attack him with a try attack, realizing I had the speed boost, I could have sat there versus Sharpedo and potentially got fast enough.
That's
where
very
I could
true.
bring
And then you could have
Mienshao
just
within
let
range
him-
of
yeah,
Shard.
yeah. How many times did you choke?
Me? Aside from in prep, 3 times in battle.
But yeah,
I'll defend myself on why once we get to me. Never
anyway,
mind, no
but
spoiler.
I thought the Sharpedo was gonna be SD, and I'm like, oh, that's game. Like
Huh?
SD Sharpedo. Hello? That's a good set.
Yeah, no, I'd buy that set.
I
It matched up
thought,
pretty well versus me.
because yeah, SD Sharpedo does really good
It
against.
doesn't get SD.
It doesn't. Oh, what are home claws?
Huh?
Home
What?
claws?
What? Are we talking about Sharpedo?
Claws.
Yeah.
No, it gets no setup.
Real?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's garbage.
garbage mon. All right.
It does hit hard though.
Sometimes.
I am never drafting that thing.
Oh my
What's the
lord.
Pokemon to not draft?
True. But yeah, I thought you played pretty well. Couple
Alright.
smaller misplays, but yeah.
Alright. Okay, so with Harley there were a few things I did not like. One is I think Muck beat every single Pokemon on that team besides Nidoqueen, and he set up before the Nidoqueen took like any damage. And then also the whole point of running Curse Muck is that it's similar to Snorlax in the way that you get Gluttony with Recycle and the 50% berries, but he brought Black Sludge instead of getting the huge chunk of recovery he could have gotten. And I honestly think Muck could have easily just won him the game, but he set up way too early and didn't bring like the ideal set. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that on turn 16 he brought in his Fortress on a Nidoqueen when Nidoqueen can just run Flamethrower and Oko it.
I agree.
And he only got a spike out of it and lost his spinner.
Which did kind of help though later because he roared a while for a bit.
I guess, but the thing is, he wasn't even guaranteed a spike. He could have just
Yeah, that's
sacked that Pokemon for no reason.
He was just strongly assuming I was some sort of choice item, which is definitely risky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just there were a few things I just didn't like that much, but he did pull out a win, so I didn't like put him super low like me and Jordan and JT.
It was definitely an impressive bounce back from week one, and if Noah's stipulation is right, then he should be having a few more nice battles upcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's like continuing to play like this, but slightly better, shove off the rust a little bit more. I definitely think he could be a contender for sure. So yeah,
All right.
I guess that's that. All right, we want to talk about JT now.
All right. Number
Okay.
14.
All right, boys. Number 7.
Oh,
Okay, number 14. Let's
number
go.
14. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here's the thing.
You inflated his fucking ranks.
Y'all can hold on. Y'all can talk first.
Okay.
This was a great battle.
He lost a game where he had a fantastic matchup. He would have won if he clicked Z-Fly earlier with Salamence or just brought leftovers on a sub Pokemon like most people do. He would have got the recovery and just won. Like, Salamence had the easiest win of its life here, and he just sort of threw that away. And like, if he brought Signal Beam on his Thundurus, like a person going against a Hoopa Unbound might do, he would have won as well. Like, that mon is really good, but half your team outspeeds it and can Oko it, but he just didn't bring the set that can Oko it. Like, I don't know, man.
I can understand the Salamence stuff, trying to be safe with the Z move and going Z move over leftovers, but not running Signal Beam on Thundurus is what really gets me because it's obviously a huge threat. He just traded away, and if you see, like, he's very likely going to bring it to at least going to use it once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that mono flying is the way to go.
I agree completely.
I like it.
Well, you're wrong, so.
I mean, I'd never draft it.
All right, so here's the reason why he's number 7.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so here's my thing. Okay, actually, I don't want to flip the slides.
Yeah, we just
don't.
know.
Okay,
He's number 7.
He's number 7 for me. All right, here's the thing.
An 8 from Emo.
Oh lord.
Oh yeah.
Memo's rankings, I just love them this week. They're so good.
Okay. All right, here's the thing. Okay, so JT had the single hardest week 1 and week 2 opponents out of anyone in the league.
Oh.
Aside from Justin.
And Junior had a tough start, like opponent wise.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know,
that's
man.
why
You went
they're
against me.
1 and 2. And
TPB, Noah, and then Carlos, 3 in a row. That's a tough start. Theoretically.
but TPB's bad. No,
I know, right? Exactly.
No, but that's why they're 1 and 2. Okay, I'm not saying JT is 1 or 2, but I'm saying he's 7 because okay, so I put him above Jake because I combined everyone's in my head. I was like, okay,
Mimo.
huh? Is he here?
Mimo's here.
Hey,
We're talking about JT, the number 14 overall.
the number
coach.
17. Okay, so here's the thing.
17.
So when you combine JT's first and second week performance, he played pretty well in both of them. Okay, compared to which I have below him are Jake, Brandon, and so on. All of those people played poorly in one of their 2 weeks. Yeah,
Okay.
all of them did. JT is the lowest team that played well in both weeks. And he had very tough opponents. Unlike Jake, who had 2 pretty easy wins. And then, yeah, Brandon just got stomped. And then from so on. So that's why I don't see a reason to put JT any lower than 7.
All right. Well, so I agree he played pretty well. He prepped pretty terribly. Like, that's part of league format, and his prep, like...
That's fair, but
is
are
what
you
lost
really
him the
going to
game.
defend... Okay, that Flame Charge Steelus set with Jake?
I'm sorry.
Are you really going to talk about prep?
Boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he won.
Ooh.
He won with bad
Against
sets. versus-
Harley, who didn't play in a year. That's like... That's like...
JT had an easy matchup, and he would have won if he just brought decent prep. He didn't bring...
But we're
like-
expecting him to beat the number 1 team in the league.
Yes,
Like-
I am. He has an amazing matchup. Settlements literally can sweep this thing easily, but he didn't click Z Fly early enough.
I
and he
will
didn't
say
bring
in-
leftovers on a
in
sub
J-
Pokemon.
In JT's defense, that early missed Blaze kick on Clef really hurt
Yeah.
him. Like, he would have had, with his Salaman set and all his sets, having that extra chip on Clefable would have meant more recovers early on, and he might have been able to get away with it if he did that, but it was still...
And
It was still...
The thing about
Here's-
him having less... oh my lord.
Okay, here's my thing. If you're arguing about little stuff, I literally don't care.
Prep is a big part.
It is a big part. However, Jake's prep week 1 I thought was garbage. The Rhyperior worked, but I thought a ton of his stuff it was just especially the steel was just bad. Brandon just got bopped, and he had bad prep and didn't bring a defogger against a person who said that their strategy was to hazard stack.
Huh. Didn't hear that one.
Oof.
JT didn't bring good prep either weeks. Like, seriously, if week 1, if he brought a real Magnet Sun set, maybe he could have done some actual damage. If he brought a Hawlucha that didn't have Focus Sash when you lost your defogger, like turn 7, he probably would have won. And then he had bad prep all throughout. He lost both his games. Like,
Yeah, that for me, the losing both the games is where I have to keep him lower. Like, I know they were against good opponents. He could have won both the games, but that's a little too much theory mining for me. I also like to see results, so I got to keep him lower till I actually see those results.
Well, for me,
Oh my
my
lord.
my theory is the round robin theory, where I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, based on their play so far, how would they do in like a round robin league where they played everyone? And I think JT would be middle of the pack based on his week 1 and 2, and I think he would do better than Jake, who I think has an even worse team at times, especially the way it's flame charge Steela. Oh my god. But yeah, like also JT's team got a ton better. I feel after some transactions, especially the Pelipper Seismitoad. And yeah, I legitimately don't think he is worse than like the like 5 or 6 coaches that a bunch
I
of you put him below.
I can agree with that. And let's say I believed in this round robin theory, I'd probably put him in the same spot. But I am not a round robin believer, so I got to keep him lower.
I'd
Bold
rather
prediction,
have a
he
flame
finishes
charge
last in
still.
his division.
Wait, what?
I said bold prediction, he finishes last in his division.
I disagree.
Bold prediction, he's making playoffs.
Yeah, he's making playoffs. Hello, I don't understand how that's a bold prediction.
I'd rather have a flame charge steel than a focus sash Halucha without a defogger.
Okay, look. Week 2
I'm
is
just-
better than week 1.
I'm
Oh
just
my
saying,
Lord.
none of the teams that start with the C are making playoffs. Just saying.
I will say that the Sash Halucha is not good. I'll concede. I'll concede that point.
You change Sash Halucha, you put Signal Beam on Thunderous, he's 2-0.
I'm not so sure about that one.
You never know.
I don't
You're
know. I
completely
think
correct.
he did have like I don't know. We all put whatever. Justin's high.
Spoilers.
I think Signal
Spoilers.
Beam, he for sure would have won because it just killed and he would have won. I don't know about the Carlos game, but it would have been a lot easier if he
Speaking
had a
of
real set.
easier, up next is Jeff.
Easy.
Okay then.
Easy W. We already talked about this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got the sweep.
Yeah.
So
He
Jeff
played
Jeff
pretty well.
continues to be a confusing coach for me.
Good for
Awful team, awful general managing, but he won this game, so
mhm.
yeah.
I still think he played worse than JT in his first week. Anyway, but yeah. I don't know. I didn't.
But he won
Jeff-
better than any of JT's matches.
Jeff's just too inconsistent against a unproven team. But
And I can agree to that. That's why I
also
had him at
he won
12.
off a flinch, but it might not have mattered.
Did he win off a flinch or did
I
it
don't
just make it
think so.
easier?
I think it made it easier. I think he might have dropped a couple differential, but I still think he had that win quite solidly.
Yeah, Chav just prepped bad, and I
And then
think
he threw the game after.
Yeah, and then he
flinch
just
tilted
threw.
him so badly that we
So,
can't really.
I
We
can't.
can't really say whether or not
Yeah,
it would have affected it, because I think that after Chabs thought he saw no window of victory, he just kind of threw it in the garbage and walked away.
Yo, I did that too. On 16.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I
after
just.
about turn 30 hit for me, I said, huh.
Huh.
Wait a second.
But yeah, I don't see a reason to put him any higher. I think his week 1 play wasn't atrocious like Hank's week 2 play was. So he gets one spot above that, and they both got sweeps. So he gets that there. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mimo, Jeff, and Hank, I don't know how to judge, so I kind of just all put them in the same place.
Yo,
That's fair.
speaking of Mimo,
Mimo.
Mimo.
Mimo, hello.
You did it, buddy.
You're the only one of us to get a win this week.
Ooh.
Woo.
Woo! Good job, Mimo. We suck.
+1.
But he also happens to be next on our power rankings.
Yeah. All I have to say is
Love,
TPB
love.
sucks.
What do you mean you're messing around? You know it's true.
I'm trying to be nice.
A solid fighting
Huh?
type
You
does a
nice?
good, solid job against your team.
Exactly.
Hey, that's why I traded away a bunch of it.
Exactly. Well, we'll see how.
You
All
made
right, let me-
transactions. I can't sweep you with fighting types now?
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
what a
on.
shame.
Come on, guys.
I'm gonna do some research while y'all talk about.
Oh my lord.
All right.
I mean, Mimo played pretty perfectly starting turn 12.
All right.
Um,
One thing I gotta say, Mimo. Oh my lord. So, I'm like, okay, this man has a Palo Sand. I'm just gonna U-turn with Tapu Koko. The first 2 times Coco's in, I U-turn. Neither time he brings in Palo Sand. So I'm like, okay, I'll actually Volt Switch. He brings in Palo Sand. I'm
he's
done.
in your head.
Mind games, guys.
Oh my lord.
This man's.
That
Oh my god.
that's just called straight predictions. He's the goat.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Wow.
Get bodied.
Palo Sand is busted.
But yeah, he played well. But
And I guess, like Noah said, it's hard to rate him yet because he did get 6-0'd week 1. So
and he
But
got
then
a
he
6-0
pulled out a
against
6-0.
the number 15 team. So
wasn't it
16
number
if you
5
ask
team?
him.
Number 5 if you asked
Yeah,
me last
16.
week?
yeah, why did you put him at 5?
Yeah, what?
That was terrible.
Because I still
Okay,
thought he
hold
had
on,
a
hold
chance.
on, hold on.
I-
What's
that is more
worse?
justified than JT at 7. That is way more justified.
I
I'd have to
disagree.
agree.
What?
0-1 or 0-2?
An 0-1 loss that was heavily
Number
influenced by a
5?
focus blast miss versus
Bruh.
being 0-2 because of bad prep.
Would you have
Come
won
on.
with that focus blast hit?
I think so, honestly. I would have actually had Tapu Koko and Aromatisse.
No. No.
I
JT
think
is
those
more
2
justified
Pokemon
than you
may
were at
have
number
been-
5.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. Easy.
0-2 because of bad prep versus
And good
0-1.
play.
Play doesn't matter when you prep
Yes, it
like shit.
does. How does play not matter? What?
All right.
Because
to,
it doesn't
to
matter
counter
how
all of
well
your
he played
arguments,
because
to
he
counter,
just prepped terribly.
to counter your prep thing, remember last year when Carlos brought a team that was prepped for the wrong team and lost
He's-
1-0?
Yeah.
Just a little side
Prep
note.
doesn't matter that much. It's I would say more than half is the play that matters.
I think you can win with bad prep, but it's a lot harder to win with bad play.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's hard to exactly narrow down where the balance is, but regardless of our debates over our power rankings, I'd say we can go and talk about one of my favorite matches of the week, in Brandon versus Dubs.
That would be my least favorite match of the week.
Once again, another fantastic week by Dubsy, but on the coach we're talking about right now,
Oh no!
Oh lord.
uh,
All right, hold on.
Brandon.
How many? All right, so he had 2 mons that had defog.
I do have 2 mons that have the capability of.
they can do it in theory.
Didn't I say in the draft video that he said his plan was to hazard stack and then sweep with his top
I
3
know-
mons? Didn't I
I
say
know
that?
we at least did it in the interviews.
I just feel like I said that.
He also just made a statement last week by doing exactly that.
So yeah, when you're playing against Dubsy, make sure you have at least 1 remover. Everyone. Okay.
Good idea.
Side note.
Now that that's over, Brandon.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What's the best way to kill an Alomomola?
Not with any of the Pokemon that I brought. An electric type that doesn't actually exist on
Speaking
my
of
team.
bad prep,
Oh boy.
whose prep's
Hey.
worse, JT's both weeks or Brandon's week 2 match?
JT's.
Ooh, I don't know
disagree,
about that.
bro.
I am saying JT's
I disagree.
because Brandon, other than the hazard removal, did have good prep. Like the sub Tangrowth was really smart to take on the
0 for-
Aloe.
He had 0
If he
for
didn't let it
Aloe.
get toxic,
Aloe
that
always
Nidoking
has
would've-
toxic.
that doesn't matter if it always has it. If Brandon didn't let it get toxic, that would have just hard countered the Aloe. But Brandon out here let it get toxic.
Choke.
Brandon also, he got a bit unlucky with like hurricane misses and no sludge bomb poison, which would have killed the Aloe.
Yeah, who actually hits hurricanes? Really? I
Nobody
Pharrell.
does.
Hurricane's a bad move.
I don't know. It wasn't really an awfully played match by Brandon.
Yeah. Yo, what was the role in that Z move?
To kill Alamomola or other things.
Yeah, what was the role?
No.
in
What
that?
was the roll?
Yeah.
Oh, the roll.
That thing.
I miscalculated it and took the hide. One sec.
Oh,
So he miscalculated it, basically.
all right.
I think if he like, it would have been hard to get in a perfect situation like that again. But
And we're back. All right. So let me see if I can find the actual calc. I believe I looked at the highest amount of the roll, and I'm like, all right, I kill. You know?
ooh,
Nice.
Here, let's see. Give me 1 sec.
I agree. Me too.
Good
My
plan.
oh no, my calc for Z Hurricane. Oh, it's because it has an awful set. Is the predetermined set. My calc here says 73 to 86% off of Supersonic Sky Strike. As I look at the imported set that is used for Alamomola, this one runs 40 HP, 252 defense, bold, and 216 Spadef. That might have been
yes.
a slight oversight.
What? So was your Torn just max special attack, not modest? Or
Correct.
timid?
Yep, timid 252 special attack.
Did you need to bring Timid for the
It
Lycanroc?
was yes, Lycanroc hit 350, I believe, with 168 timid. I'm 352. Sadly,
So he had to be especially defensive then.
yeah.
Oof, that's rough.
So yeah, it was an oversight on my part, and was one of the key factors why I lost the game. The other being
If Aloe went down
no
there,
hazard
this would be a
control.
very different game.
It looks like the roll was about 50-50.
That's a shame.
Flip coins better next time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey. Like, I think Carlos wrote down the quote earlier about removal. What only losers bring defog and rapid spin.
Exactly.
Quote, that's a quote from your guy.
They're bad moves.
Trenton Thunderous.
Please don't hazard stack me.
I mean, hey, I went 11-3 because people didn't hazard stack me last season.
Yeah.
All right. That should be good for you.
No, it wasn't.
It was a pretty rough game to watch. You jump in as soon as they linked in. It's like, okay, so Brandon loses.
Yeah,
And,
because y'all
We
linked
watched
up
it for the
really
next. How long was the battle even?
late. It was really long, bro. Dubsy's games are like 10 hours long.
So we both weren't feeling well. Like I had to stay home from school the other day, but Dubsy was
Also, he was like vomiting too.
If that's him vomiting, I want to see him healthy.
oh right.
Bruh.
Anyway, we both weren't on the top of our game, and we forgot to link until we were 30 turns in. Just about the turn I would say around there is when I lost the game. I actually turned 0 when I brought the no defog. That's probably when I lost actually.
I think, yeah.
All right.
Yo, but that Nidoking set killed everything except for Mola.
Too bad.
All right,
Alabama is like.
I think you lost around turn 3 when he put up the first spike. That's what I guessed.
Probably.
True.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. Just a quick question: what do you think of the Lycanroc lead?
Thought it was Scarf. So I mean.
Okay, because that was sort of a misclick.
Oh.
That's why I said oops turn 1.
Oh. I thought.
Wait, you said oops.
No, that's why Dubsy said oops. But I mean, that was a fair thing.
He brought it out into Torn, and I'm like, well, I can't just click U-turn because he's Scarf. So I had to hard switch.
Them plays.
No, that was a fair assumption.
Well, yeah.
All
Because
right.
that's the fastest Pokemon on his team that really can use Scarf well, and I'd imagine that that's probably going to be a choice user. So I brought Greninja's Scarf for that, basically.
All right.
Yeah,
Are we done now?
I really hope so.
I don't know. Let's just watch the whole battle again and see where it went
Oh
wrong.
my god. Okay, let's just move on.
Who's next?
Come
on, Carlos.
Flipping slide.
Jake.
Uh,
Jake. I think it's Jake.
I didn't do the averages for the next slide because it
It's
looks pretty
Jake.
straightforward.
It's Jake.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy, Noah hates Jake.
Oh yeah, confirm Noah hates Jake.
Hey, Mimo put him at
12.
12.
Okay, well those are Mimo rankings.
Fair.
I'm just surprised Junior wasn't first on Mimo's list.
I know,
right?
But yeah,
Huh?
I'm just gonna talk about Jake for a little bit. All right, so yeah, week 1 I don't think was very good for either player. Yeah, for both Harley and Jake, thought wasn't a very good match. Week 2 was better, but I don't have faith. I'm sorry, because you beat Harley when he didn't play for like a year, and then you beat Jordan when he was like doing musical. So like, I just want to see you beat a team that
Isn't on a musical.
isn't in musical. Correct.
All right. What I'll say with Jake is, for me, doing rankings like 13 to like 5 were actually quite hard for me, and I saw Jake had 2 wins, which, that's like as many as he got last season. So I gave him some recognition for that, and yeah, I think he just having 2 wins put him above the other teams, other than the one team that is 1-1 that I put above him, because a lot of the mid-tier teams either played really well last week, but then sucked this week.
Except JT, and he played pretty decently both weeks.
Or they did really well this week, but sucked last week. So Jake was...
Or didn't get wins.
He got 2 wins, so that's why I put him at the highest of the mid-tier teams. So, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't the most impressive 2 weeks, but he did manage to get 2 wins, which is equivalent to the amount of losses JT has. But it was still, it could have been better, but I think if you beat the opponents that are in front of you, you got to get some credit for that. And he did win them 3 and 4-0, which is pretty convincingly, compared to a lot of coaches are sitting there with like 2 differential or stuff like that, and he's sitting there at 7. So
Against
you gotta take all that
bottom-ranked
to some account, and it's impressive that he's 2-0 after. You said it was only 2 wins last season.
2 or 3.
Yeah. So
Might have been 3.
for what he's been given, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to rank like this whole middle group until we see a few more games out of them because they're so up and down.
Yeah. I picked him for both week 1 and 2 because I thought that was probably best case scenario. Well, first of all, playing Harley week 1 is just like that would be probably the best case for Jake, just because that would be the best time to play Harley because hadn't played. And then that's like the best time to play Jordan because his mind's not on Pokemon. So I don't know how much of that is him or like how much I just don't know. Yeah, like he's 2-0, but it's really hard to give credit to him. Like, ugh. And
I can definitely agree it's the weakest 2-0 out of the 3.
well, yeah, obviously.
Definitely.
Like that's a no-brainer, but I had to put him out of the lowest out of the non-Mimo rankings, just because I feel like in weeks to come, because my definition of power rankings is like, okay, how do you think the season's gonna play out based on the matches played so far, and I think that Jake hasn't really proven anything. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
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 Okay, next. Let's do.
Wait, I'm doing the math. Let me do the math real quick.
It's you.
All right.
Let's
I'm
do
doing
you.
math.
Who's to
Yep,
you?
it's me by like, what is that? 0.2.
Okay, so next we've got Carlos. Yeah.
So I choked a lot in that battle, just a lot.
Yeah, not a very good play.
Okay, oh yeah, what I forgot to say. So normally, when I'm battling, I go into my room, turn on some music, relax. But the Eagles were playing, who was it, the Vikings?
Yeah.
And I love me some football, so I decided to watch that instead. So that doesn't defend me losing that battle, but just some context.
Hey,
Ooh.
I listened to Little Pump
Oh,
in the
my Lord.
finals match, and I think it killed. I think it killed a couple brain cells though.
Oh yeah, definitely. So did the Eagles for me. But
more like the Vikings, am I right?
oh, oof. Yeah, I guess we could start with my first choke, which was not recovering with Necroz or Moonlighting, turn 14. And that just happened because I thought it was toxic damage instead of poison. I wasn't paying attention. And I didn't do any research on that, so I just
Fun
let Necrozma
fact,
die for no reason.
The only move in the game other than toxic that gives toxic damage is Poison Fangs.
Yeah.
Toxic Fangs?
But
Whatever.
Poison Fang.
Poison Fang.
Itsy Spikes.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
now,
Okay, yeah.
after TPB said it, I probably should have just went straight Nidoqueen instead of setting up there. It worked, but I could have just 2 KO'd with, or what? Did it kill? I don't remember. On Muck. All I know is Earth Power did a lot, and he
Yeah.
wouldn't outspeed me. So that would have been a lot safer at that point. But later in the game, I used my Z move on the switching in Sylveon, and if I just Calm Minded twice, I could have OHKO'd it with my Z move, but I wasted it for no reason. And yeah. I'd say those were the main 2 places in the play I screwed up. Regardless if I could have swept with P2 at the end and got a shard to kill Miancho. I just made too many misplays early on.
For me, you did choke a lot, but there was also, yeah, I don't know, played fine. I don't really have much to say about you, honestly. Like, I don't know, I just kind of put you there.
Here, I do want to double check, I think. For Nidoqueen, what's the speed on that? I'm fairly certain I miss speed crep Nidoqueen, because it was Scarf. Let's see. Yeah, I made it Scarf, but slower than Mienshao. So, that sucked.
Yes, it did.
Because then maybe I could have won there at the end, getting off Earth Power on it, and then killing with Shard. Yeah.
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 Week 2 is just a common Carlos early season choke. Happened last season, happens every season. So, as viewing myself, I'm not too worried, but definitely wasn't the best week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of good weeks, Destin over there.
Ooh.
All right. Here's why. Okay, I think. Okay, so everyone else, they were like, oh yeah, 1 through 4 was easy. For me, 1 through 5 was easy. I thought Destin was a pretty obvious number 5 choice because literally every single other team below them. But I think the top 5, the reason why they're there is because all 5 of us played well both week 1 and 2. Arguably, JT also did. Anyway,
Oh my lord.
Boo.
but anyway,
No.
so they all played well week 1 and 2, against most of them tougher opponents. But yeah, Destin played really well. I forget. I'll be honest. Oh yeah, against Hank. Hank didn't play great, but he did he's Destin's been really impressing me so far this year, and I think it's going to be a close race between him and Carlos for that division leader spot.
I
Because
don't win divisions.
I think Destin's really got a chance. Yeah, I think Destin's a fantastic player. He's played really good, really well. Whenever past 2 weeks, brought pretty much optimal prep, or more optimal than a bunch of other coaches in the league. Yeah, I don't see a reason for him to be. I put me above him because I beat him, and me beating him is a harder opponent than him beating Hank. So it's pretty obvious logic there that I would have to be one above him. But yeah.
I mean, in theory, I did beat the number 17, so. Now I see why you have me at 6. It makes sense now. I did beat
Makes
the number
sense.
17. But I'm not as impressed with his first 2 weeks, but I can definitely acknowledge he's a great coach, and I love his team, especially. Did he make a trade or something recently, or no? I like his team. I like his coaching, and I think he will definitely do really well this season. Probably win the division, if not wild card. But I still need to see. I want to see a game versus a good coach where he wins. I wasn't as impressed with his week 1, but he did make it close. And then his week 2 was a win against Hank, which is really hard to judge right now. So I'm gonna keep him there at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll move him up if he wins next week, but I really want to see him how he does versus a really quality opponent.
Yeah, I just personally I couldn't put him any lower than 5 because his play was more solid than yours. Is more solid than JT's. More solid than just going down the list. I felt he was just solid, and I think his team is. I think we underrated it in our draft, but in our draft
I don't.
because I've prepped it actually. Fun fact: I've prepped against him for 3 weeks now, and it is actually yeah, easier said than done. But
I mean, I know this isn't draft analysis, but I don't like his bottom 6, 7, something like that. Anything but the top 3.
I think his top 4 are good enough. But anyway, hooray in the draft. I think he's very solid at 5.
Yeah, he had a commanding win against Hank, and he had a very close win against you. So
Lost.
Yeah, that's lost, right? Yeah, that's why I put him the highest of the mid tiers.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Speaking of the top 4.
Yep. So unanimously, everyone put me at number 4.
Fun fact: number 4 has been unanimous both weeks.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. But yeah, I'm guessing the logic was, okay, Justin's obviously number one. Junior is number two generally, other than Brandon. And then Dubsy had a 6-0 against a really good team, and he barely lost to Justin, the number one. So pretty obvious logic there to why I'm...
And the reasoning that Junior is number two is his battle this week was versus our previous number two
Yeah.
coach in Noah, which it was a really solid win by Junior.
Yeah, but I'm still up high, even though I lost, because I played semi perfectly. I just think the team he brought just beats mine. And we both played fairly perfectly. There was a couple like awkward plays by both of us,
Well,
but
what was the Zelf set
it was
or item?
It was the same thing. It was specs.
Okay, because if it was Scarf, wouldn't you have just won there then?
No, because I didn't KO the Feraligator, and Feraligator would have killed me. with
No,
Crunch.
for Alligator, I mean turn 16. It was
Well,
yeah,
the Gator
but
would still be alive.
The
then.
Gator would
Because
would have
turn one, Zelf
yeah,
got the Yoko.
turn one I led with Azelf, and then it had a 70% chance, a 70% chance to kill if he wasn't invested, but apparently he was. So sorry about the roll. But I'm pretty sure Crunch killed because if I was scarfed, I wouldn't have killed Feraligator. So it would have been a different game. Bringing Scarf Azelf would have been an idea. But yeah, I feel like I need that extra power, so I think it was a
I
fair
feel like
play.
it would have been a bit safer, especially with that first turn being a roll, because you would have just lost Azelf there.
Yeah, but when's Feraligator ever invested? So it's
I
like,
mean, it's never speed invested, or I mean, it can be, but if bulky for Alligator doesn't make sense.
yeah, like I calced like I'm pretty sure it was like the max HP max attack one, and yeah, it was like 70%. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. But anyway, aside from that, yeah, Junior just played. I mean,
We're talking about you.
me and Junior both played well. He prepped slightly better, and he won. And I think that's enough to be above everyone else before me.
And I mean, just focusing on you, with the first 2 weeks, it's pretty hard to put you any lower than 4, especially with taking everything into account. But I think we really need to see. I want to see more in the next few weeks because, I mean, your team definitely could have had Gligar earlier, but just play. It's been, although maybe it had been near perfect, I haven't been as impressed as I thought I would be with these first 2 weeks. So I definitely want to see some impressive wins coming up to really solidify you in that top 4. Because with all the sweeping that's been going on, it's going to be hard to stay in the top if you don't have some nice wins.
I'm not a sweeping coach. I'm just trying to get wins.
And if you get wins, you'll stay up there. And that's why we have Junior. That's why I have Jake at 5 because he has wins, and JT doesn't. But regardless, Dubsy 6-0 is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm fine with like people like Dubsy being above me because I personally wouldn't play like that. Saving differential to me is just a bonus. I don't really aim for that because I'm just trying to win. And you know, if I feel like I'll have more misplays if I don't play safe, and I think that's worth it. So I think that's completely fair. Never having me at the very, very top spot. That's fair because that's not really me. When it comes to
Same.
battling.
I don't even go for wins. I just go for making playoffs.
I just go for number 1 PR. But yeah, I'm just trying to get in the playoffs and get a decent seeding. Yeah.
But going forward onto our top 3,
Let's
we talked about Debsy a lot already.
yeah. His win Well, first of all, barely lost to Justin, who's our number one, obviously. And that deserves credit. He was our number one 0-1 coach last week, and now since he has that win, he's up in the top three with everyone, and especially because it was a 6-0. Yeah, like that was just a really impressive win. It shows me as a Mall Wiles team hater. I don't like that roster, but he showed me.
You're wrong.
Go Milo Wiles, go.
he showed me what it was capable of. Okay, I like Rose Raid. I like the top 4. And I like Crook. And Alo's good. And those are literally all of the Pokemon he brought are the ones I like. Actually, wait, he didn't bring Feeny. He brought Lycanroc instead. But I don't know. I don't like Diancie. Diancie's bad. And
I like his synergy. I like
Hitmonlee is bad.
Although I hate hazards, he used it effectively.
Yeah, he's really good at hazard control.
Although he will say he only won because Brandon had no aloe counter or no hazard removal or good prep.
I still feel like he might have won, even if Brandon.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Yeah. So I prepped with Dubsy, and it was honestly, I thought this was a better matchup for Brandon because Brandon's offense sort of just ran through everything that wasn't named Alamomola. Like, we were super scared of Volcanion and Buzzwole because if they came and set up a sub, we would have lost. But we got some good prep, and then he played really well with it. So I put him really high because of it. He played super well. He got the 6-0, and yeah.
Yeah. Just really good win. Probably, yeah, just really solid play. I still love that Lumberry Crook set from week 1. Yeah.
I still love that aloe set from week 2.
True. But yeah, just really solid. Definitely a playoff contender. For sure. Anyway, moving on to our two 2-0 teams, or 2 of the 3.
2 of the 3, including Jake at number 5.
But yeah, so first up we have Junior. He's put there because Justin had 2 wins that the odds were generally against him. Wait, what was week 1 again? I forget.
Dubsy.
Oh, Dubsy. Oh yeah, and that was a really good game where Dubsy's a fantastic player, and Justin beat him. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. Junior's wins weren't as good as Justin's. That's why he's at 2, but he still had really good wins.
And brought many junior sets.
And brought the most junior sets I can imagine. I have been proved wrong. Mew is good. I should just trust Junior.
I mean, I still think Mew's bad, but
I think I would not use Mew well, but I'm going to trust Junior with the versatile psychic types. I think that's what he does best, for sure.
Really though, Mew, if it goes like he did with Necrozma last season, Mew's just gonna be Necrozma on crack, gonna do some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm really excited to see what he can pull up. I think Junior's probably the most entertaining coach in the league.
Both in battle and out of battle.
Exactly. But yeah, just really cool prep, and plays really aggressively. Nice change of pace compared to Dubsy's and especially Dubsy's play, who is really slow. Really slow player. But yeah, I would say, had a pretty good win against TBB, and then had a pretty, I would say, an even more solid win, surprisingly, against me. Even though I played fairly perfectly, yeah, he just beat me pretty solidly. So yeah,
mm-hmm.
Good player.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of solid win,
Solid wins. Okay.
Justin.
I don't think this was a solid win, honestly.
Yeah, no, it was that was a tough one. I mean, even before we saw the Hoopa set, I thought he just lost. And then that Hoopa set, and he won. It was a
Oof.
miracle,
Yeah.
like that Vikings touchdown.
All right.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna compare this. The Vikings
Lord.
should have went to the Super. I mean, that's fine. The Saints should have
Saints.
went to the Super Bowl.
And
They
JT should have won
choked
this game.
last minute. JT should have won the game. But I still believe in him.
Oh my lord.
I'm so salty about the Saints, dude. I'm mad. Anyway.
All right, for me, the reason I like Justin and put him high is both weeks he was obviously behind in the beginning and middle of the game, but then towards the end game, because of his like prep that he just somehow thought of, he was able to bring it back just through his good prep and being able to preserve his win cons. So I was really impressed that he was able to bring it back both times, and that's why I have him at number 1.
Can we just talk about how our two like last minute additions are both in the top 3?
Who are those?
Dubsy and Justin.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And then Junior.
I mean,
Oh,
that
here-
could also be attributed to us not knowing them as well.
Oh, I
And
guess,
like
yeah.
everyone in general. We'll see if that's the case. Because
Yeah,
they've both
once
been
we learn
insanely
their play
impressive.
style, yeah, for sure. But
We'll see. But they've both been playing just out of their minds.
here's my theory. I'm gonna go back to Junior for a little bit.
Harley's gonna win it all.
Yeah, Harley's gonna win it all, but Junior, okay. Here's my theory. He's going to. I think he'll be the number 1 seed in the East.
Junior?
Yeah.
That's wild.
It-
Oh wait, East? Oh yeah, I forgot East sucks. Let's go.
it's like me.
I could buy that.
Yeah,
I could
it's
buy
like
that.
me, Brandon, him, and Dubsy. I think are the 4 favorites.
Unfortunately,
right
he might lose that number 1 spot this next week.
now.
But
True. But yeah. Here's my theory about me. I mean, not me. Oh my god, about Junior. So last season, his team was garbage. Like I would say, his season 1 team is worse than Jeff's. There's no way it's better. I would rather have Blacephalon and formerly KB. I would even have Hoop on, but whatever.
I guess.
I mean, just looking at Junior's schedule, I could definitely see him going like 7-2 to start or something like that.
Yeah, like so he played well with a bad team, and now since he has a subpar team, 2 above average, he's just gonna roll like, ugh.
Jeff's team is pretty bad. I don't know.
Do you remember Junior's season 1 team, my dude?
Yeah, Junior's team was awful. That
Do
was.
you want me to read it off?
I really don't want to hear about that team ever again.
Here, I'm pulling it up. All right, boys.
Oh,
Okay,
Lord.
so Junior's team: Latios, Magnazone, Togekiss, Crawdaunt, Weezing, Snorlax, Necrozma, Cryogonal, Sceptile, Emboar, Aerodactyl, and Klefki. By the way, we had 12 Pokemon last season. I think that's worse.
Yeah, especially with the 12 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we had 12 Pokemon this season.
Yeah,
Yo, me too.
I think I'm gonna raise it.
Let's all just pick up a free agent right now.
Low key, I didn't know that there were only 11 until like round 8.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, what do you mean I can't get this extra Pokemon?
Yeah,
Like, oh.
next season I'm gonna raise it back up to 12. I think I've been thinking about it.
Yay, raise it to 13 while you're at
I'll
it.
raise it to 20. How about that?
And add Megas.
I'll raise it to 20, and it's just a doubles league.
Ah, yes.
Yo, I like it. So you had a cast for him to return?
Mhm.
Hold up.
Anyway,
Wait a
power rankings.
Yeah, cool.
Let's do some predictions for next week.
We're just gonna read off our pick'ems.
Mm, I'm. Who do you think will win by the largest differential next week?
Oh, okay. We're playing that game.
Over under.
Oh.
JT
Hold.
3-0.
Some games may or may not have already happened. Are we
Yeah.
gonna? Are we gonna count those?
You're right. I mean, what do you think's gonna happen after Jeff beats TPB?
I'm becoming a full-time analyst. I already told you guys that. Come on.
Doing some dumb stuff. Okay. Okay. Excluding the 2 games that may or may not have already
Oh
happened.
my lord.
Let's see. Oh, I think. I'm sorry, Jordan.
All right.
Dubsy's
Wait,
gonna
hold up.
roll you.
Yeah,
Bold prediction. All left side wins.
Let's see.
It's a bold prediction. I know.
I don't know. Those
It's-
first 2 games, that's tough. That's
yeah,
tough.
I don't.
It's a bold prediction.
I don't. Okay. So
I could buy
It's
it for the bottom
it's a
4.
bold prediction.
Oh no!
are you
Ooh.
sure?
Oof.
I just.
Hello. Even right now, I think
This
the right side
right
has a better
here.
chance.
I don't know.
This
It's a
right here.
bold prediction for a reason.
You're
I think the right
high.
side has a better chance as of right now, including the week 3
I
matches.
think.
the
Okay,
right side
so
has a better
but
chance.
for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, so TPB is saying that OKC will win, the Mobile Bewares will win, Mobile whatever.
Harley will be.
Chelsea Swablues will win. Tulsa Excadrillos will win. Carolina Pangoras will win. Sporting KC will win. Detroit Cobalions will win. And the Daytona Tortugas will win. I think you're wrong.
On
I
all
do
of
too, but
those.
it's a bold prediction. I don't know, man. Noah, you don't make bold predictions. You just make normal
correct
predictions. It's not fun.
predictions.
You're no fun. Get
Here,
out of
I'm going to
here.
make a correct prediction and say that JT is going to be above seed 7 at some in the recent future, like probably in two or 3 weeks.
Not. My prediction will be he won't be for mine. Just a prediction.
Well, you're just gonna do it in spite of me.
No. I mean,
Let's
if
see.
for some reason he lost, he would go lower, and if for some reason he won,
So
he'd go
Mimo just said
maybe
that,
slightly higher.
Mimo just said that Dubsy's gonna get another 6-0 against Jordan. That's a.
I'm gonna agree. I'll take that prediction.
That's a
I'll buy that.
safer
Bold prediction?
prediction.
3 6-0s this week.
One,
I mean,
2.
okay, that's
Where's
not that.
the
bad.
third one coming from?
I don't know.
Is that
maybe
it's, Justin versus Harley?
yeah, maybe
Sure.
Justin versus Harley. Maybe Jeff sweeps.
You're not wrong.
I can't really see me or Chab sweeping.
I really can't see Hank sweeping.
I mean, yeah, I can't see Hank sweeping. What are you talking about? He's gonna 6-0.
We already did see it. Week 1.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I could see Junior sweeping.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
No, because Junior isn't a 6-0 coach.
I mean, I could make him one real quick. Bet. How much money do you want to bet?
All right, just bring Fire Punch on your Dharma again instead of Flare Blitz. There you go.
Yeah, that's how you throw.
Yeah, I may or may not have on that one. Maybe. Maybe.
By the way, I made this list before any week 3 games happened, and I'm just gonna say, week 3 is looking pretty good for my PR. Compared
Wow.
I'm liking how it's looking for my PR too.
yours
Not
looks
gonna lie.
garbage. The
Huh?
two games that may or may not have already been played. You have the lowest. I'm pretty sure you have the lowest in both of the teams that may or may not have won the week 3
That would be correct, and I still stand by those. I think 3 above that guy and what is that, 8 above that guy will do better. Long term. Long term. Long term, I think they will do worse than the coaches above them.
So then you're subscribing to the round robin theory.
No, I'm subscribing to the who's most likely to win it all, plus how they've done so far.
That's like almost the round robin theory.
Except wins actually matter, and so does differential.
Differential doesn't mean shit.
Differential is more important than wins for me.
Hello? No,
not gonna lie.
the quality of win means more than the differential.
Yeah, and a 6-0 is a higher quality than a 5-0, and a 4-0,
No.
and a 3-0.
Then how come you're like, oh, they just haven't proved themselves when like Jeff got a 6-0?
Because, I mean, JT hasn't proved himself. He's 0-2. -7.
Okay, we're done.
Or, wait, let me do the math on that. Whatever he was.
Okay, whatever. Bye. Oh wait, Mimo, where are
Yo,
you?
wait. Hold up. We have 3 0-2 with -7. That's crazy.
Huh?
I think I got that math wrong. On the,
Oh.
but we do have 4 2 differential coaches right now,
Oh,
We have 2.
oof.
all with different records.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Huh.
Okay, then.
And that's the battle.
And that's the battle.
Woo.
Tune in next time.
To see me as the full-time analyst.
Yeah.
Jeff versus Harley finals confirmed.
Yeah.
Yo.
What are you talking
Hey,
about? It's Jeff or
y'all
Hank?
sleeping on Jeff.
I stay slept on Jet.
Sorry, Jeff.
He's gonna have a higher win streak than JT last season.
He'll have a higher win
Bold
streak than me
prediction.
this season.
Oh, let's do that. Slight bold prediction. Who
Oh
do you
my
think will
lord.
have the longest win streak? Here, let me pull up the schedule real quick.
Longest win streak.
I mean, for me, longest win streak. I think I don't foresee Justin losing anytime soon.
I agree. I think Justin. He's
What,
gonna
week
have the
3 is an
longest.
easy win. Week 4 is an easy win.
Dang, throwing shade.
I know, right? I'm facing week 4.
I would disagree. I think Junior is. There's only one. I
I
think.
mean, Junior's win streak ends this week.
No.
What do you mean? I thought you
Easy
could hit 6
wins. So
It depends on how much you're betting. If it's worth it.
but I think he's got a favorable matchup against your team. But the only tough match that he has that I don't think it is necessarily in his favor is against Brandon. In the next like 9 weeks.
I would say that with Justin as well.
Yeah.
Except Justin plays Brandon like 2 weeks later than Junior.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see on the schedule where Justin's losing. Maybe week
Is
7.
Justin gonna go?
Maybe
14-0?
week 7. I could see him losing week 7.
Yo, what about
What?
week 12?
Yeah, week 12?
Yo.
What does he face?
Nah, he's in his 6-0.
Well, we don't know who that coach will be.
True.
You right?
Who's the Daytona Tortugas? Who is that?
Right now it's me, but week 12, Daytona Tortugas.
Week
who knows?
12 Daytona's going to be some entirely different coach.
We'll figure it out next week.
Okay, Mimo.
Oh, Mimo, say it. Oh,
Mimo.
Mimo.
Mimo. Mimo.
Mimo.
Mimo.
Mimo. Mimo. Mimo. Hold on. We've already stalled enough.
An extra 10 minutes
Might
of
as
just
well-
us not doing anything.
Yeah, it's been like 15.
Goodbye.
Oh,
I'm
bye.
not ending it with fine, okay.
Without Mimo.
Mimo,
Okay, bye.
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds.
Yo, edit it in at the end.
I'm not editing power rankings, are you crazy?
Yo, wait,
Huh?
Carlos, what are you doing?
The video over?
No.
Bruh.
And that's the battle. Bye.